Hello, welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is a really interesting review. I didn't think I would ever do this, but I'm reviewing Ashens' film. Now, I got sent this, full transparency, I got sent this by the editor as well as the producer, or one of the producers anyway, Linton Davies. Now, I know of Ashens in terms of he's a YouTuber, big YouTuber. He does videos where he kind of unwraps things and things like that. I've actually really enjoyed his videos. Mainly because it's enjoyable watching someone eat stuff which is really out of date for some bizarre reason. But anyway, he has a fairly decent sense of humour, so the reason why I thought, well, I'd review this, I got sent this screener, full transparency, I'll review it because he seems to have a similar sense of humour. And funnily enough, I actually watched Barry Lewis, who is in the film, who is one of Ashens' friends, who's a cooking channel. I bet you didn't think I watch cooking channels, but I do. So it's my kind of jam, basically. So I thought I would review it and take a watch at it. Now, it's not perfect. There is a few ways around whether you would like it or you wouldn't. So I'm gonna kind of talk you through what I was sent as the blurb and things like that. The sort of the rough overview. I'm not going to get into spoilers, because there are some spoilers, and there are some twists and turns, and whoa. But I also want to touch on some of the technical aspects, because it's not a bad film. Like, genuinely, it's not a bad film. But I do think, like, you'll only enjoy it if you like certain things. So I want to cover that, because I don't want to lie to anyone. I want to make it completely transparent. Now, I was sent a brief bits from Linton saying that it's a fun, feel-good story centered around retrieving the infamous 80s arcade game that can supposedly control people's minds. The film stars, apparently, a lot of prominent YouTubers. I only know Ashens, but apparently there's a guy called Nerdcubed in it, and Dan Bull. I don't know who they are, and you're not here to watch a video about other YouTubers. You're here to watch a movie review, primarily. Now, he says that it's a proper film made for all the right reasons, and it's a true passion project, and it's been 7 years in the making. Now, it's a true film, like it is. I would say you're going to like this, and funnily enough, I'm going to draw a comparison which is pretty relevant. I think you'll like this if you like really old Red Dwarf, which is funny, because one of the actors who played Crichton is in this. Amazingly. They managed to get him in. He's only in briefly, and he's good, like he's always good. But if you liked old Red Dwarf, old British comedies with that sort of sensibility and that sort of sense of humour, I think you'll like this quite a lot, actually. Now, it's, like I said, it's by no means perfect. Some of the jokes really don't land. And I feel one of my main criticisms of this is that I feel like some of the jokes may have gone on for too long. So like some of this, because it has a story, and then there's obviously sketches within the story, which are jokes, scenes. Some of them go on a little bit too long and are a little bit too slapstick. But I think this is pretty good fun for the whole family. Like, there's nothing major. It's not mature or anything like that. And it is, as far as I'm aware, it's available on YouTube, Amazon Prime, Apple, Google, all relevant streaming services. I don't know if they're selling a Blu-ray. But if they are, I'll leave a link down below, because again, if you're into old school Red Dwarf, you might be into this. It's good fun. Now, again, I'm aware of Ashens. I have watched his channel before, and because I like his sense of humour, I was a bit concerned that I would be put off by him in this, because he's obviously not an actor. And for the most part, he's believable. Some of it does fall short. But you sort of forgive it a little bit, because again, it's very clearly, it clearly has a budget, like absolutely has a budget. But it's not a mega blockbuster, is it? By any stretch of the imagination. But it's pretty good. I actually had a good time with it. The pacing's pretty off though. The main thing I would say is there's a scene when they're starting to build the plan of what they're about to do, because it's a heist movie. If you didn't guess, the Polybius Heist, obviously. So they're building this plan of what they're about to do, right? And I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, yeah, but it goes on. And it goes on. And it goes on. And that's my one main gripe about this, is that the jokes, they land, but then they try to drag them out a little bit too much to get more jokes landing out of the same one joke. Which probably landed with a few people. Not with me, though. With me, personally, short, snappy, quick, make the joke, move on. That's what I would have much preferred. Basically, mind control arcade device developed by Ashens' father. Obviously, I'm fairly certain it's not Ashens' father. Which there's actually some good old age makeup in this. I thought it was pretty good. All the makeup's pretty good in this. And I'm going to get on the technical aspect in a minute, because it does actually need to be touched on, especially if you're looking at YouTube movies or YouTuber movies, of which I'm included in that with what I've been creating myself. Side note, I'm actually away making my second film, a psychological Lovecraft horror film. So basically, Ashens plays a collector, a collection service. He goes to get collectibles. 4 people. It's like a retro video game detective, I guess you could say. And we open with this incredible, and I was really impressed with this, incredible James Bond style opening crawl, complete with an original piece of music, which is obviously a rip on the Casino Royale song by Chris Cornell, You Know My Name. And I thought that was really good, because I actually really like that song. But the opening crawl was great. It was fantastic. Whoever made that, top marks. Like, that was solid stuff. And the song was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed that. So basically, we open with that, and he's doing all this stuff, and then he gets word that the Polybius is real, and he links it to his father, and so on and so forth. And he goes to create a heist, and he gets a team together, and that's basically the movie. It's a bit slapstick in bits here and there. And like I said, I don't think it'll all land. And I don't think the slapstick stuff will land for the most part with the large portion, inevitably, of American audiences that will be watching this. I think maybe that might put people off. But, like, a lot of dry humour. There's even some... I'll tell you what I like about this. There's some jokes which wouldn't be able to be done today. Apparently this is 7 years in the making. There's jokes about a chap who's a Greece man, but he's literally from Greece. And he spends the whole movie trying to learn English, and then by the end he's, some typical well-spoken, posh, yuppie man. But some of those jokes you wouldn't be able to do those jokes because it's not PC, and I liked that. Again, it's not massively against PC, but it's one of those silly little jokes that people say and shrug off, but you can't really do in this day and age. So anyway, all of that to one side, because there's not really anything to go into with respect to spoilers or much which I would feel confident kind of revealing to you all. I want to touch on the technical aspect of this. Now, there's some good locations used in this, some decent locations. Very clearly, some of it's filmed just like on a street in the UK. And I like that, because I look at these places and I go, oh, well, I've probably been to somewhere like that. That's all right. It's just interesting to see. And then also, they go... in terms of the technical aspect, the lightings are pretty good. I feel like the cinematography could have been better, but then I'm looking at it from like a stylized perspective, and I'm like, well, they could have used, lenses with a more unique focal length and had some bokeh in the background and all this kind of stuff. But then I think to myself, why would they have done that? It's clearly not that kind of film. What's the point? So I feel like everything is as good as it needed to be. I'm pretty certain it was in 4K, which is pretty bloody good. So I had a good time with it. Like, I can recommend it, but only if you're into quite old school Red Dwarf, a little bit slapstick. You don't mind acting being a little bit off here and there. Some jokes not landing. And the pace is a little bit off here and there. But it's not bad. It's not bad at all. And I strongly, and I keep saying this, you must support independent filmmakers. This is a movie which is not bad. Is it a standout? No. Is it a movie that you'd pay to watch in a movie theatre? No, it's not. But could they build on this? Could they get better? Could they, progress their sort of, career in independent filmmaking? Yes. And this is good. Like, it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. So anyway, I could recommend it. It's a good bit of fun. Pacing was the main issue I had with it, and you'd probably want to watch it with some beer and some friends and just have a good laugh with it. Bump my mic there, sorry about that. Anyway, that's my review. So I'd sit down. I'm away now, making my own film, so just got to plug that. The link's down below in the description box for the GoFundMe. But anyway, thank you all so much. If you have seen it or if you're going to see it, let me know. I'd love to hear it. Like I said, this is not going to be for everyone. Not by any stretch at all. But if you like old slapsticky sort of, you know, Red Dwarf, Channel 4-ish, I guess, that kind of old comedy, check it out. I had a good time with it. Some of it's good. Not all of it lands, but some of it's pretty good. The majority is good, and it knows what it is. I think that's the key here with this. It knows exactly what it is. It's not trying to be something else, and that's important when you're this silly. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Thank you so much. Take care.